All right, we are live. Make sure we're going live in our other group.
Hello, everybody out in Facebook land. Welcome to our Purse Strings session this week with Dawn. Dawn. And then I was just looking, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. Santoriello?
Santoriello.
Santoriello.
Yes.
Got it.
Love it.
Yeah. So glad you're with us, Dawn, today as a Purse Strings Approved professional, one of our newest. And you're going to speak to us today on all things finance, and are you going to share about your book?
Yes, I will do that too. I'll save that for the end.
Okay, a little end surprise that we do have an author here as well. So that's exciting. So at Purse Strings, as everyone knows, we're here every Thursday at this same time, and we're always presenting our Purse Strings Approved professionals. These are the experts in all things finances. And Dawn is with DS Financial Strategies. And tell us a little bit about what you're going to talk about today.
Sure. Well, first, I want to thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I'm so looking forward to teaching everybody today. So, like you said, I'm Dawn Santoriello. I'm a certified financial planner and author. And today we're going to learn how to release our money blocks. So we're going to combine how to get comfortable with money. And then we're going to learn some real world investment strategies, what works and what doesn't work. So that now when you manifest all this money, you're going to know how to invest it.
Woo, I love it. I love it.
I've been excited for this one all week. I'm not going to lie. Once we started talking about manifestation and breaking down money blocks, I'm like, yeah, I have to be here, but I'll really be here.
Yeah. So make sure you have a pen and paper ready, because we're going to do a little exercise too in here. So.
Oh, that's good to know.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is really fun.
And so, Dawn, where are you calling in from today?
I'm located right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But I work with clients throughout the United States. So I've been virtual before it was even cool, since 2017.
You've been Zooming your whole time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
It looks like we got some people from Wisconsin, some California people in here. I know a couple of people from Chicago were jumping on today. So pretty exciting. We'll just wait another minute or two for a couple more people to jump on.
I love this whole idea of manifestation. It's really cool. I mean, some people think it's woo-woo, but other times you have to really think, you are what you think you are. Your thoughts create everything that you are. In fact, I just saw some video where it said, your life is like a movie. It's like a projection of a movie, and whatever you're projecting out there is what's going to happen. So I can't wait to learn from you, Dawn, on how to manifest.
Exactly. I'm excited too. And I'm so glad, as soon as last year hit, that's when I decided to go full force and combine my woo-woo-ness with my analytical financial skills. And it's been great. It's been really a hit with everybody, because again, money is kind of scary, and who really wants to talk about money, but manifestation and creation, that's amazing. And then, so I've been so excited ever since I've been on this journey.
Love it.
Great.
I love it. Well, let me give a little intro to you, Dawn, and then, we'll just jump right into this. So Dawn created DS Financial Strategies, and she works virtually to help you reach your financial goals with peace of mind and economic confidence. Whether you have significant assets to manage or you're just starting to accumulate your wealth, she has the tools in the background to provide services that may fit your needs. She offers fee-based financial planning and investment management. And when you join DS Financial Strategies, you have access to a plethora of educational opportunities, including financial wellness workshops, personal finance website, and hopefully some more manifestation. So with that, I'll give you the floor. I'll pull up your slides.
Okay, great. Thank you. And do we want to hold questions for the end? That might be a little bit easier.
Yeah, unless something super relates, I'll just have everyone put their questions in on the side, and I will go through them when we're done.
Okay, great. Well, as Maggie mentioned, here's a little bit more about me. So I own my own company. I'm a fiduciary, which means I must put your needs ahead of my own. I also host a show on YouTube called Financial Fridays with Dawn, and I've been featured in Forbes, Investment Advisor, Market Watch, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. And I've been doing this for over 16 years now. So So today, like I said, we're here to release the 5 biggest money blocks that are holding you back, how a prayer for abundance and real-world investment strategies changed my life and can also change yours too. So just some disclosure we have to put out there for legal purposes. So what we're going to learn today is a prayer or manifestation tool for abundance. We're going to go step by step to releasing the 5 biggest money blocks that are holding us back from gaining the confidence, clarity, and power in our financial lives. And we're going to learn how to invest using a simple, proven strategy. So the bigger problem I see is that why so many people struggle to find clarity and confidence they need to take action when it comes to their finances is that they lack confidence in their knowledge, or they're just so overwhelmed. Like, how much information is out there and all these decisions you have to make? Or let's face it, we're so busy. We have our lives to run, but we want to make sure that we're using proven real-world investment strategies that are going to get us to reach our goals. So now, this all turns around once we let go of that fear and overwhelm, and we change what we believe about money. And once you clear these money blocks, you can make the best use of these strategies that I'm going to show you. So you can make the use of the money that you already have, and you can manifest even more. And having a written financial plan and someone to help guide you is going to avoid costly mistakes and will improve your current and your future financial situation. So this talk is for you. You've came to the right place if you want to quickly remove these spiritual blocks around money so you can step into a life without debt, have enough money for retirement, pay off those college loans. If you want to grow your money without complicated strategies or big sacrifices in your day-to-day life, and if you want to make your money work harder so you don't have to. So what we're about to discover is that prayer for abundance. We're going to demystify investments. We're going to learn what works and what doesn't. And then we're going to release the 5 biggest money blocks that are holding us back from gaining the confidence, clarity, and power in our financial lives. So you may be wondering, okay, well, why is Dawn so fired up about releasing money blocks and investments? Well, let me tell you, there was a time, we can just go back right there. There was a time when I only had $200 to my name and I couldn't even get out of the parking garage. Talk about embarrassing. There was cars lining up behind me. I'm sitting there honking on the horn. Finally, after like 5 long minutes, the attendant came out and let me go through. And I was thinking, I went home and I was crying. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm a financial planner. My clients are making money. What is wrong with me? Well, it turns out I was blocked. I was spiritually blocked around money, and all my analytical skills couldn't save me. But then once I released those blocks and said this prayer, that all turned around and I had my first 6-figure year. So talk about incredible. That's why I'm so fired up, guys. So now this simple prayer, it works for anyone, regardless of your religious beliefs. And why is it so important? Well, we know that we want more money and we may have cleared these external blocks that we think we have, but something is still not quite right with our money. So what do? We just call upon spirit to clear those unconscious, subconscious blocks that we have. And this solves the problem of scarcity. How many people out there are living in scarcity mindset? A lot. So, and that's blocking our abundance. So now this isn't like a quick miracle, although I've seen things just happen miraculously, because sometimes these blocks are so deeply rooted that we have to keep working on them. But if you do that, it's going to clear up. Now, what happens if we don't do anything and we don't get this handled? Well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to rely upon ourselves, but things become easier and clearer with a little help from spirit. We're going to continue to feel that frustration. We're going to be worried, panic, make mistakes when it comes to our money because we're forcing a certain outcome and we think we know the best way to get the outcome. I was guilty of that. And money is just going to control our life and block its flow because all we're going to be thinking about is money, how to get more of it, how to get more of it, how do I get more money? And how do I stay out of debt? How do I stay out of debt? And then you may find yourself back in that cycle. You just got out of debt and now you're back in debt. So that's why we have to get this handled. And the solution is we're going to have a little faith and say the simple prayer that I'm going to share with you whenever something comes up. Anything that causes you unease, stress, anxiety about money. And here's another secret. This prayer actually works for anything in your life, not just money. But today we'll focus on money. So when we do this, we're going to free ourselves from worrying about a particular issue and let God, spirit, love, energy, universe, whatever you call your higher power, they're going to handle it for you. This is going to cause you to be more calmer, and you're going to be receptive to accepting new ideas or inspiration from spirit that they're trying to send you to help you with your finances. And 3, we're finally going to have that financial peace of mind, and we're going to manifest abundance. So here it is. The first 2 paragraphs could be used, or the first and third. So I kind of make it my own. So let's just see, what do we want to manifest? Okay, let's just say we're going to manifest some unexpected money. So it goes like this. And if you want to take a snapshot of this, you could too. So you have it for your records and to do it over and over. So thank you, God, for this for me, for having an unexpected windfall of money coming my way in the best way for me and all, or something better. And thank you, God, for this for me. Love, clear, heal, and change anything that prevents this prayer from being answered and me having that unexpected windfall of money. And thank you, God, for that for me. And let me be happy no matter what happens. And thank you, God, for that for me. And also, you want to be as specific as possible. I'm just trying to keep us in time here, in that blank space of what you want. And here's another thing. It might not come in the way you expect, but it'll be there. Like, for example, last year, my furnace went out and it cost $6,300. So I did this prayer. And then I was working with my spiritual teacher. I'm like, yeah, it hasn't come yet. But she's like, well, I'm like, yeah, I have $6,300 in my checkbook. So I had the exact amount. She's like, well, you already have the money. I'm like, well, I wanted the extra money, but still, it was there. You could do this for everything, like parking spaces, creating your place, your dream place that you want to live. Like, I create my life constantly using this. There's so many examples. Okay, we can go to the next slide. And then also too, like I said, I prayed from the parking garage incident that happened to me, clear my money blocks. And then I went from 200 to my name to over 6 figures. And I actually had a client when I first did this workshop that we're doing right now. She actually manifested a $30,000 ghostwriting job 4 days later after our workshop and doing this prayer. So it's amazing. So if it works for us, it could work for you. Okay, so now that we got the little woo-woo out of the way, let's get down to business and let's talk about investments. So there are certain risks that you just don't want to take. You don't want to try and time the market. You don't want to pick individual stocks. You don't want to chase past manager performance. And you don't really want to invest on your own because you're really not going to avoid fees. So trying to time the market, So trying to time the market is you think you know when to get out and when to get in. Well, here's a little secret. Even the experts don't know. You have to be right 74% of the time. So just don't try to time the market. Just get in and invest and stay there. Like, I have a client now. He gave me his money to manage it, and he's managing his 401k. This was back in September. I told him what to put his funds in that he's managing. He's still sitting in cash. And meanwhile, we've made a lot of money so far from last September. And he's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, if you would have listened. He's like, I'm afraid. He's like, I'm waiting for it to go down. I'm like, well, ever since you've been waiting for it to go down, it's gone up. There is no time in the market. The best time to get in is now. Pick an individual stocks. Only 4% of the stocks on the entire stock market actually outperform the market consistently. I mean, a couple of decades. The rest just get what a 1-month treasury bill does. So as John Bogle says, the owner of Vanguard, don't try to pick a needle in a haystack. Buy the whole haystack, meaning buy the whole market. And another one, just because a money manager has done well in the past doesn't mean they're going to do well in the future. Like, for example, Peter Lynch had the Magellan Fund, and he consistently beat the market for 13 years. And then after he left, no one could replace him. He hasn't been able to do it. And then people think they're going to save money by doing it on their own. But let me tell you, working with an advisor, Vanguard did a study. We actually add 3% to your bottom line because we're going to be there to hold your hand. Like, for example, one of my wealthiest clients calls me on New Year's Eve, and he said, okay, come Monday, you need to move me to cash. And then Thursday, I want to get back in because of the whole January 6th thing was coming up and all that. So I said, well, you have access to your 401k, so you could go do that. And me and him are in the same portfolio. So I watched. In that time frame, he actually lost the fee that he paid me. And I actually made money. So you don't know what's going to happen. So had he just stayed there and listened to my advice, he would have saved all that money on the fee. So, okay, we can go to the next slide. So why is this so important? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you want to gamble with your retirement money and take unnecessary risk based on feelings or what the so-called experts say, meaning the talking heads like who's that guy, Kramer and them? Or do you want to use a simple, proven strategy that takes the guesswork out of investing for your future goals and your retirement. I'm with choice 2. Now, what happens if we don't get this handled? Well, we're going to be constantly chasing the next greatest stock that Kramer is raving about, or some other money manager says that I have the magic portfolio that beats the market consistently. We're going to hope to hit it big. Well, here's a little secret. As soon as any information becomes available, it's already reflected in the stock price. 2, you're going to end up locking in your losses when the market declines, as most investors let their emotions drive their decisions and they move to cash. So the cost of investment behavior is one of the most significant costs of investing, not the fees you pay to your advisor. Like, for example, say last January you woke up and you knew a pandemic was coming. You knew social unrest was coming, political unrest. What do you think the market was going to do? You might have thought it would crash, but it did the exact opposite. Yeah, it went down for a little bit. It went up to have one of its highest returns. And 3, you're going to remain frustrated when you open up your account statements because you're like, okay, I'm investing this money, but my balance does not seem to grow. So what is the solution? It's evidence-based investing. And when you do this, now you're going to be confident because you will reach your goals because you know you have a proven strategy that works. It's going to give you that financial peace of mind that I love to give to my clients. And when the nightly news comes on or someone's talking about the stock market, you're not going to feel stressed or anxious anymore. You're not going to say, oh my God, what'd the market do today? You're even going to sleep better. How great is that? And now you're going to have more time and money to enjoy activities that bring meaning and purpose to your life, allowing you to fulfill your spiritual destiny. So now, what is evidence-based investing? Just like it sounds, it's investing based on evidence. We use Nobel Prize-winning academic evidence to build highly diversified portfolios at a low cost. And this basically says the markets are already priced correctly. You want to hold more value in small companies in your portfolio. Value companies are undervalued or they're distressed. Small companies turn into big companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon. They all started as small companies. Harley Davidson, they started in people's garages. And now look at them today. And you don't want to just own stocks in your home country. You want to be diversified across the entire globe. And what this does, it eliminates those risks that we shouldn't be taking. It eliminates market timing, stock picking, chasing past manager performance, and it avoids emotional investment decisions. So what does this look like? Well, you sit down, you find out what your emotional risk tolerance is, which is basically like a speed limit. How fast are you willing to go, which equates to how aggressive are you? And then once you get that score, you build a portfolio that's low cost and diversified, like I said. And then the biggest part where I earn my money is keeping you invested during the good times and the bad times and being that emotional person that you could call to help you get you through the rough spots. Because truth is, your portfolio was built to withstand the ups and the downs. And the key to success is just staying where you are. And it's been proven too, even if you got in the market at the worst possible time, like say it's at an all-time high and then it just drops. Then you're scared, oh my God, I'm not going to do this ever again. Then, you know, the market's doing good. You're like, I'm going to go invest again. Boom, it crashes again the next day. You did that maybe over 4 decades. You still will have more money than if you're moving in and out of cash constantly. Because it's basically what matters is time in the market, not trying to time the market. So, and here, if you follow the experts' advice, like for example, if you listen to MSN, you would have done 2.3% if you picked their best stocks. This is in 2016. If you listen to Kiplinger's list, that was 3.7% you would have done. Money and Time, which I don't even know if Money Magazine is still around, you would have done 4.9%. And then if you followed Barron's list, you would have done 5.3%. But if you would have saved all that money on those magazines and just put it into the market, again, globally diversified rather than picking those stocks, you would have done 12.83%. So again, it makes sense to own the whole entire market than trying to pick the little winners. So, okay, I hope you have your paper and pen ready because now we're going to clear some money blocks. So we all know money is just a tool. It's just energy to create the life that we want. So we face many obstacles, and while some are external, many are internal money blocks and stories that we heard over and over and that we just internalized. And this is what's standing in our way to confidence and clarity. So why is this important? Well, to move forward, we have to shift our mindset or we're just going to be stuck in that pattern. So this is a must. And it doesn't matter if you're married, single, divorced, widowed, retired, or still working. taking control of your finances and finding that confidence to create the transformation. It's not just move this money here, sign this form. It's way more than that. Now, what happens if we don't clear our money blocks? You may find yourself stuck in a parking garage. No, I'm just kidding. Well, if you only focus on the nuts and bolts, but you neglect those internal issues, your money blocks, you're going to find yourself in the same spot over and over. You're overwhelmed, unsure, and unheard. And wealth alone is not going to give you fulfillment or make you feel in control if those internal scripts are just constantly filled with negative self-beliefs. And we're just, like I said, we'll continue to accumulate debt even though we may have just worked our way out of it. It's just a vicious kind of cycle. So the solution is to let's clear those money blocks so we can live the life that we know that we were meant to live. So now what happens when we clear these blocks is we're going to have more confidence in our ability to make financial decisions, and we're going to have more money. We're going to be able to talk about money more openly with the right advisor or our partner, and then we can reach our goals faster. And we'll learn to put ourselves first and prioritize our needs over others instead of the other way around. So we're not jeopardizing our retirement to pay for a kid's college, for example. You can do both. It doesn't have to be either or. But I've seen a lot of people, they just like sacrifice everything for their kids. Like the kids have more money in their 529 plans than the parents have saved for retirement. It's crazy. So here's the 5 biggest money blocks that people face. 1, prioritizing the needs of others over our own. Like how many times like, okay, I'm just too busy. I'll get to that. I got to take care of my kids. They need to do this. Another one, money secrecy. I see this a lot with couples. They're afraid to tell their partner what they spent money on. So there's a lot of secrets and creates a lot of blockage there. Or they just they lack confidence in their own knowledge. They're just like, I don't know enough. Money is scary. I'm not good with numbers. But the truth is, women are actually smarter investors than men. There's some research done on that. And uncertainty and decision paralysis. There's so much information. People are overwhelmed and they don't want to make a mistake. So what do? They do nothing. And doing nothing is a mistake because now you're missing out on time. And that's the one thing we can't get back is time. And they lack trustworthy financial advice. Maybe they don't know a financial planner. They don't know who to turn to. They don't know the difference between a financial planner and a certified financial planner. So they don't know what to do. And so they don't do anything. So now think of the blocks that I just mentioned. And if there's another block, write that down because now we're going to clear one of the blocks. So you can write that on the top of your paper. And then we're going to ask yourself these 5 questions about the blocks, and then we're going to clear them. So 1, whatever your block was, write down, why do you believe this? So for example, if your block was lacking knowledge about finances, right? Like, okay, my dad said the men handle the money or something like that. Like, why do you believe that? That's what my dad told me. Okay. And I'm just making this up because my dad didn't teach me that. So now, when did you start believing this? I guess say like maybe you were 5 years old. You were 6 years old. And then where did this belief come from? Again, in that example, okay, my dad told me and he would just constantly say it over and over. So that's why I believe this. And he said it. He's my dad. So it must be true. But now that's given our power away. But we were little, so we didn't know. So now today we're going to reclaim our power and take it back. So now what do you want to believe instead? Well, for example here, I am smart and I know how to manage my money and I make smart financial decisions and I am successful with that. And whatever your block is, you write down what you want to believe instead. And then finally, what's small action? It doesn't have to be huge. Just one little step in the right direction can you take to counteract this block? One is maybe you could sit down with this and actually analyze your expenses and your income. See what you have, what's going in and what's going out, and start making a little budget. Or you could start implementing this advice, reach out to me or someone you trust and start setting up your investment account instead of waiting. Because again, time doesn't wait for anybody. So now you could use this anytime a block comes up if you want to go further. And also I have a workbook, which I'll be giving away too at the end for this. So hopefully now you guys, I hope you're feeling a shift. Hope you're feeling better about that one issue. And again, don't worry if you fall back. always come back and do it again. So now this really works. So I was afraid I was going to fail my CFP exam. So I quit right in the middle of the program, and I didn't go back for 3 years because I was like, I cannot fail. I am not going to fail. And I quit because when I registered for one of these courses, the person that was registering me said, oh my God, that was the hardest class. And I quit after that. So that became my story. I was like, oh my God, if he quit, if it's hard, if he said it's hard, it must be the hardest class. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to quit too. So I attempted it and I found it was really hard, and I quit halfway through because that kept playing in my head. And then I changed my belief to, well, I am smart and I always pass my test on the first try. And then I got back after 3 years and started finishing my coursework. And I'm happy to say that I passed every class. There were 6 classes and 6 exams, and then the major big exam on my first try. And on the first try, there's only a 62% pass rate. So, but before that would happen, I had to clear that fear and my lack of confidence in myself to make that possible. Okay, so a recap of what we learned. Sometimes we just need to have a little faith and help from spirit to manifest what we want. We need to take the guesswork out of investing and use proven investment strategies, and don't go it alone. And then finally, we got to clear these money blocks that are holding us back from gaining that confidence, the clarity, and the power in our financial lives. So here, I'm super excited. I have a book that goes over this in more detail. I talk about how to get out of debt. I talk about why you don't want to move your money to cash. I talk about how to set up a spending plan and a way to supercharge your savings so you could have tax-free money now and in retirement. So it should be coming out soon, which is why I don't have the link just yet. But if you follow me on social media, check out my website. It will be there as soon as it is ready to be released, but I expect it within a month. So now, if you liked what you heard today and you want a little more help, I'm giving away a Releasing Your Money Blocks call. So where we're going to learn more about you and your situation, give you some actionable steps to take, and we'll see if working with me is right for you. So you could click on the link below and book your complimentary 15-minute session with me. And then as a bonus too, everyone who books a call within 48 hours, you're going to receive your complete guide to unlocking your money blocks, which will go a lot deeper than what we had time to do today. And then finally, here's all my contact information. If you just go to the website, I have everything up there, my social media links and everything. So if you just need to remember one thing, it's dsfinancialstrategies.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If it's of a personal nature, we could kind of save that for our call because I don't want to be talking about everyone's individual situation because we are on a live and it may be replayed, and want to respect people's confidentiality.
That was awesome, Dawn. There was so much great stuff in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. I'm definitely going to have to get your book too.
Thank you.
So yeah, if anyone has any questions, we'd love you to write them in. Some people were commenting how it's just such great advice that you were giving. I would love to hear if anyone wants to share what money blocks that they worked on clearing. Mm-hmm. I
also want to hear your stories. Like when you go home and do this prayer tonight, maybe a couple of days, email me. Let me know what happened because something is going to happen.
Yeah, let us know. Comment it. We'd love to hear all about it. And so, Dawn, just a little bit more about you. What, besides this call, what other services do you provide, and what does that process kind of look like when you're working with, a new client?
Okay, well, I like to be affordable to everybody at where they're at. So I like to meet them where they're at. So one, I have an online course that they can find on my website. That's only $19.99. I work hourly, so I have an hourly fee of $250 an hour. If someone just wants to hire me for a couple hours. I could invest their assets. If somebody wants a plan, I could do that for them as well. If they make under $100,000, it's $1,500 for the plan. If they make above that, it's $2,500 for the plan.
Awesome. I really appreciate you putting those numbers out there because sometimes it's just so vague. You're like, where do I even begin to guesstimate what it would be? So really appreciate those numbers out there.
You're welcome. And it's on the website too. If you go into my website and under the services tab too.
Awesome.
I always have questions.
Go ahead.
First of all, it's so refreshing for you to challenge us to rethink our money stories and our money mindset. Because I think what you've shown here is we do play these stories in our minds over and over without even thinking about it. It's kind of a knee-jerk reaction to, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not smart. In fact, I've had women walk by me and just put their hand up, like, I don't want to talk about money. You know, someone else handles that. I don't want to talk about money. And just that whole action when that happened to me was kind of like, whew, they really have a block, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. And there are resources like yourself, Dawn, other purse strings approved professionals that are out there willing to answer questions. And that's what purse strings is all about. It's really answering those questions that women have. But I just love the walking through of saying, hey, I realize that I'm telling myself this information over and over again, and that's not true. Yeah. So how can you reframe it? Like, and you even took on someone else's story.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone you didn't know who didn't mean much to you, which is always interesting, you know, as the example, how you talked about, like, you know, if your father said something to you, that's, you know, you might have always looked like that's your dad. He knows. Where it's just another student. I mean, I've done that before too. And I was like, well, what does Betty know though? I mean, why am I trusting Betty? You know?
Yeah. And sometimes we're like stuck, like we'll fall back, like maybe it was just a couple of years ago. Actually, I fall back into scarcity. I'm like, oh my God, I can't have that nice apartment because that is just too expensive. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? But I just went for it and boom, the money just flows. Like when you stop worrying about money, this is funny. It's very kind of ironic. Like I was always worrying about money because I'm a planner, number cruncher. Oh my God. And constantly with the numbers. And then like COVID hit too. I lost complete fear. You think it would be the exact opposite, but I was like, no, I'm going to be fine. And it totally expanded my business. Now I'm across the country. So it's like I said, when you let go of that fear, and the fear is going to pop up in different areas of your life at different times. So just because you cleared it today doesn't mean it's not going to pop up 2 years from now. So it's like always a constant working on yourself because, again, we're always a work in progress. We're never complete. But yeah, just kind of working on it, and it's boom, and you just see things. Like even last week I manifested a client, and I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I do that prayer, and it's like I wake up in the shower doing it. Before I go to bed, I create my day. I'm like, holy crap, I just did that. It's like, so it's beautiful. Like,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. You hear a lot about manifestation and you know, you kind of wonder, does this really work? But what I believe is you are what you think you are, you know, and you need to put out there what it is that you want in your life and make it happen. So, but if you've had negative influences your whole life, or you were told a lot of negative things, you start believing that, you start living that out. So it's really being conscious about changing that routine, changing that story, if you will, especially around women and money, because I think it's a story that we've been told many, many times. You know, women or girls aren't good with math, or, you know, the men make money decisions or whatever it might be. And we need to change those stories and understand that it's not hard and anybody can do it. And we should all be empowered to take charge of our financial future.
Yeah. And then when it comes to investments too, I see so many people that are like, oh, I got to do this. I got to move this. My advisor's doing this. And it's like, well, no, if you just follow these simple things, you're going to be okay. But the advisor feels like, well, I need to be doing something to get my fee. It's like I use that example. You're managing a client's emotions is going to more than cover your fee because So, and that's why I was like, I'm so fired up about that. I want to show people like, hey, this is easy. You don't need active management. You don't got to try to beat the market. Just be the market because the returns are good. And then you're not going to worry. You're going to be calm. So it's like, I just want to get this out to everybody and just show everybody, hey guys, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And we always tell people, you know, there's a professional for a reason most of the time, you know, so just let the professional do it. You passed all your classes to get the certificate. Like we didn't. So why are we working on managing it when you could just pay somebody else who's this is their profession? They can rock it out for you, you know, and you don't have to waste your time learning all of it and balancing all of it and your emotions as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't drill our own teeth, right? Exactly. We have experts who are expert in areas that we pay to help us with these areas, and financial management is one of them. So, and we always say, you know, people say, well, why would I pay someone to do that? Well, you're going to make it back 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a robot can't help you. They can just pick your funds, but they can't help you with your emotions.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they're just very cold and stoic. I'll be like, I'll hold your hand, not literally, but I'll kind of be there and remind you, okay, this is why we're doing what we're doing.
Right. Yeah, there's a plan behind it. Yeah, for sure. This has been great. It's been a lot of fun. I love the manifestation, but then you put the hardcore, numbers behind everything and why the market does what it does, how to invest, kind of what are the number trends, and why to choose a financial professional to work with. So I love it.
Well, great. Thanks. I love being here with you guys. This was awesome. I had so much fun. And I hope you guys out there watching this have got a lot out of it. And yeah, hopefully we could do it again.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sure.
So thank you again, Dawn, for coming on today. Everyone feel free to reach out to Dawn, take her up on our complimentary call. At least you get a book out of it and a great chat with Dawn, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So she's one of our Purse Strings approved professionals. So you can always check her out on our site, pursestrings.co. She's the founder of DS Financial Strategies, and you can reach her at dawn@dsfinancialstrategies.com or her website. She's out there.
I'm out there. I'm all over social media. And if I'm not in I work with clients throughout the U.S., so location is not a problem.
Great.
Awesome. So we'll post up this video. We'll make the one-page handout for tomorrow so everyone can kind of download. We'll definitely put the manifestation prayer on there so everyone has it and they could just print it off. And we'll see everyone again here next week, same time, same place. So thank you again, Dawn.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Maggie.
Bye.
Bye.